So picture this. You're the newest person on the team. You spot a problem that's costing the company thousands every month, and you actually have a solution. So you mention it in the meeting. Your boss nods, discusses it briefly with a couple of folks, and then we move on. Days later, nothing changes. Now, most people think that this means they need to wait to speak up, to maybe get more experience, keep their heads down. But the truth is, you should actually do just the opposite. Because in my 25 years of experience as an executive team coach for Fortune 100 companies and the most powerful unicorns in the world, I've learned that people who rise up within the company at the fastest are the ones who lead before they ever get the title. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to be that leader even when you're not the boss yet. Now, when I work with senior executives, they're often even more stuck than junior people. They have reputations to protect, a carefully constructed image that they don't want to damage. You, on the other hand, have none of that baggage. You can experiment, you can fail, you can recover quickly. You can build relationships without anyone questioning your motives because you don't have the power yet. This is an advantage, not a weakness. And if you start now, you'll be miles ahead of the person who waits for the right job title years down the road. So the question is, how do you leverage that advantage? Chapter 1, what I call the enrollment framework. You've probably heard generic advice like communicate your ideas better or learn to influence people. That's useless. The framework that I teach executives when they need to drive change is this. Number 1, start with what they care about, not what you care about. Before you pitch anything, you need to understand the other person's goals. Don't guess them, actually ask them. What's your biggest priority this quarter? What would make your job easier right now? Most people skip this step entirely because they focus on themselves. But if you can understand the problems that your teammates are going through, you can position yourself in a way to be their go-to solution. Number 2, connect your idea to their win. Now you reframe. Same idea as before, but positioned as a solution to their problem. Don't say, we should automate this weekly report. It would save time. Say, you mentioned that you're stretched right now. I found a way to automate the monthly report so you don't have to spend 3 hours a week every single week doing this. The difference here is that you're not selling your idea, you're solving their problem. They'll care about that. Number 3, make them a co-creator. A lot of people mess up here. They show up with a finished plan and expect everyone to just buy in. Buy-in is bullshit. You don't sell things on people. That doesn't work. People support what they've helped to build, what they've helped to co-create. So instead, show up with 60% of the plan and ask input. Here's what I'm thinking right now, but what am I missing? When they add ideas, it becomes our plan, and now they're invested. Number 4, follow through obsessively. This is a step that separates people who lead from people who just have good ideas. After every conversation where you commit to something, send a summary email within 24 hours. Consider even setting yourself calendar reminders. When is it time to update people? This has to happen before they've thought about asking how it's going. And by the way, if your idea gets dismissed, don't push. Mention it briefly, then drop it. 3 weeks later, mention it again in a different context, then drop it again. When you do this consistently, you become known as the person who actually delivers. Being reliable is the single most important skill in any workplace. That's how you build credibility, and that's how you land those promotions that you're chasing. Chapter 2, build trust through vulnerability. You've heard be authentic. You've heard it a million times. Let me tell you what that actually means in a work context. Because most career advice about this is kind of completely wrong. I work with Fortune 100 leadership teams on candor and transparency, being willing to say the thing everyone's thinking, but nobody's saying. And I've seen something really interesting. Vulnerability builds trust faster than even competence does. When you're 22 and you say, I'm the newest person here, so I might be missing some context, people don't think less of you. They already know that you're just being honest about it. And that honesty makes people want to help you. Compare that to the person who just pretends to understand everything and nods along in meetings. People will lose trust in that person, even if they're technically good at their job. Be authentic consistently. It's what earns trust in the workplace. It's not one vulnerable moment that matters. It's being real repeatedly over time. Here's what this looks like. When you make a mistake, and you will, own it immediately. Use this 4-part structure. I made a mistake. Here's what happened. Here's what I'm doing to fix it. Here's how I'll prevent it the next time. No excuses, no deflecting, just accountability. This can be extremely challenging for some people. Admitting fault is always a huge blow to anyone's ego, but if you have the discipline to put your pride aside, admitting to your mistakes can build more trust than never making mistakes in the first place. Another place to practice this, say what everyone's thinking. If a meeting is going badly and everyone can feel, but no one's saying it, you can say, hey, is anyone else feeling like we're talking past each other here right now? You're not criticizing anyone. You're just naming the obvious thing. People will respect you for having the courage to speak up honestly. Chapter 3, the relationship map system. Okay, here's where I'm going to give you something tactical that I teach in my Beyond Connections program. Most people think about relationships as either friends or work people, or maybe people I should network with. But in my opinion, that's way too vague. Instead, create a relationship map with these 4 layers. First, there's that inner circle, 5 to 10 people that you can be completely honest with. Call them your lifelines. These are the people who will help you no matter what. You can be vulnerable with them. They actually know what's going on in your personal, your professional life, etc. Next, your active network. 30 to 50 people that you interact with regularly, coworkers, regular contacts, people that you see in meetings. These are your day-to-day relationships. Then, your strategic connections. 20 to 30 people who have the power, the resources, the access that you need to achieve your goals. These might be senior people in your company, people in other departments who control decisions, mentors, or people whose roles that you may eventually want to fill. Lastly, your dormant ties. This could be any number of former colleagues, college friends, past mentors, in the past, your internship supervisors, anyone that you've lost touch with that had a real connection with at some point. Most people spend 80% of their energy on their inner circle and ignore the strategic layer completely. That's backwards. If you want to lead without authority, what you really want to do is monitor your check-ins with people outside of that inner circle. That doesn't mean filling your calendar with 100 coffee meetings, but it does mean little touch points to strengthen your relationships with these individuals. Hey, how's that project going? Is there anything that I can help with? Most of your peers don't do this, and if they do, they definitely don't track it. But these short touches compound over time. 3 quick conversations a week is over 150 across an entire year. Do this, and you'll be exponentially ahead. Now, for your dormant ties, every month reach out to like 3 people. Hey, it's been a while, just curious what's going on in your life. How's work going? How's the family? In my experience, these weak ties can often lead to the best opportunities, the biggest breakthroughs, because they're far enough outside your network that they know different people than you do. And look, at its core, this is just normal networking, and it's what everybody does, or at least wants to do, or tries to do. What makes this approach different, it has a structure. You're not randomly trying to meet people anymore. You're systematically investing time in the relationships that matter, and you're being consistent about it, but you're also being authentic about it. And one more thing here, be generous. Help people before you ask for anything. Share useful information, make introductions, offer your effort on something that they're working on. When you do this consistently, people start looking for ways to help you back. Chapter 4, make your boss's job easier. I know this sounds obvious, but if you're not doing it, the rest of this, it doesn't even matter. Here's how you do it. Every Friday, send your boss a short email with 3 parts. What you accomplished this week, what you're tackling next week, and 1 roadblock that you're facing. This takes you like 5 minutes. It gives your boss visibility without having to ask. It builds trust because they know you know what you're doing. And it makes their job easier because when their boss asks, hey, what's your team working on? They have all the answers. Most people think that their boss should just know what they're working on. Your boss is drowning in other work. So help them make it easier for them. The one other thing you can do, bring solutions, not just problems. This is standard advice, but here's the specific version that I know works. Don't say the client is upset. Say, the client is upset about the delay. I've already drafted an apology email and proposed a new timeline. Do you want me to send it, or do you just want to adjust it first? You're still flagging the problem, but you've done the work to solve it, and you're giving your boss the chance to approve or modify. That's the difference between complaining and actually being that leader I'm talking about. In your one-on-ones with your boss, ask strategic questions. What's your biggest concern about hitting this quarter's goals? Then position yourself in a way that helps address that concern. Your boss will start seeing you as someone who makes their job easier, not just someone who completes tasks for them. Chapter 5, go hire together. A rising tide rises all ships. This concept, growing together, is something that I've built my entire career on. Many people see their coworkers as competition. Who's getting promoted first? Who's getting credit? But from what I've seen, the people who rise fastest treat their coworkers as partners. When you help them win, they will help you win. When you share credit, you get more opportunities. When you make people look good, you become someone that other people want to work with. Here's an action item for you. Find 2 or 3 coworkers you respect and set up monthly meetings where you each bring one challenge and the group helps problem solve. This does 3 things. You get better solutions because you're tapping collective intelligence. You build deep trust with these people. And when opportunities come up later, you're top of mind for each other because you've been invested in each other's success. At work, look for chances to make your coworkers' lives easier. Jordan in product is working on a similar problem. Let me connect you. Or I can take the first pass at that research if it helps unblock you. You can't force people to collaborate, but you can create the conditions for it. And when you consistently do that, you become known as someone who builds teams, not someone who just does individual work. That's again what leadership is all about. Chapter 6, the meeting power move. Okay, this is where I'm going to teach you something that Fortune 100 executives pay me 7 figures to learn. Most meetings, they're terrible. You already know this intuitively. People show up, they report out what they're working on, everyone's half paying attention, nothing gets decided, it ends. Horrible. I teach teams to completely restructure how they meet. Now, you probably can't change your company's meetings overnight, but you can start small. Here's a specific practice I use with executive teams. Start meetings with an energy check. Everyone shares where they're at on a scale of 1 to 10 and briefly why. I'm at a 7, I got good sleep, but I'm stressed about the product launch. I'm at a 4, I'm dealing with some really shitty family stuff right now. This takes 5 minutes, but it does something critically important to the room. It gets people present and connected before you dive into the work. You know where everyone actually is. You build empathy. The meeting immediately feels more human and connected. Another practice. If you need real input from the team, split into breakout groups, even if it's just in pairs for a couple of minutes. Give them a specific prompt like, what are the 2 biggest risks that we're not looking at right now? Let them discuss for 10 minutes, then bring everyone back together to share. This increased truthfulness or candor by 85%. It's based on the research that we've done. People will say things in small groups that they won't say in front of the entire team. Then once it's been said in the breakout conversation, they will come back and they'll share it honestly and openly. Now, perhaps you're thinking, come on, there's no way I can totally restructure the way meetings are run at my company. And perhaps you're right. But here's what you can do. You can offer to take notes. You can offer to facilitate one of these breakout groups I just talked about. You can suggest the energy check for a small team meeting. Start small. Show that it works and let it spread organically. Chapter 7, lead people who don't report to you. You can't tell people what to do when you have no authority, obviously, but you can facilitate collaboration. You can remove obstacles and you can give recognition to your peers. That's its own form of leadership. So what does this look like? Facilitate collaboration. Hey, I'm setting up a working session on this program on Tuesday at 2. Do people want to join? You're not demanding anyone's time. You're creating an opportunity to work together. People will often say yes to that, even when they'd say no to a direct ask for help. Remove obstacles. So you can say, I can build the Excel model if that helps free up you to focus on the presentation. You're not doing their job, you're unblocking them. That builds goodwill. And remember, give recognition. Say, hey, I mentioned to Sarah how much your input really helped me on that analysis. She loved that idea. This costs you nothing and makes people feel seen. They'll absolutely remember it. Here's a real example from someone I coached, a 23-year-old analyst who wanted to improve how her team shared information. She couldn't force anyone to change their habits, so she created a simple shared doc, started populating it with useful information, and mentioned it casually in meetings. Oh yeah, I put that in the team doc. Within a month, everyone was using it. What happened here is that she led the change without announcing it as a change. She just made something useful and let people discover it. Chapter 8, how to start today. Start by creating your relationship map. Write down who's in your inner circle, that active network, and then the strategic connections. This takes 5 minutes, and just seeing it on paper will change how you think about relationships. Then, help 3 people without asking for anything in return. Share something useful, make an introduction. Then, prep that weekly summary email for your boss. Mention what you did, what you're doing next, and the roadblocks that you're getting through. Make it a template so that it's easy to keep up with and your boss understands what it is when it's coming. The ugly truth that nobody tells most employees is this: you don't need a title to lead. You don't need authority to create change. You don't need permission to build relationships that open tons of doors for you. You just need a system and the discipline to work it every single week. So now you have the tools to be a leader, even if you're not yet the boss.